A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon keep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Knight I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The Dungeon Labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
Presentation.
This is the Daredevil series from Monza Combined without the first chicane, only on turn 200.
Monza Combined without the first chicane. Unbelievable. Crazy how that happened. It's round number 11 of the third season of the Daredevil series. We'll get into the minutia of this intro here in a minute, but first, let's take a lap along with Christopher Hill to show you the lay of the land. He is on the clock right now for his first lap in qualifying, and yes, this is the oval. And yes, this is a right-hand turning oval. So that was turn 4 and 3. Now we're going down the backstretch, heading to turn 2. And by the way, 200 miles an hour on quarter entry there. By himself. 200 on the dot. Now this is where it gets tricky. Up over this little bump here. Now we're down the front straightaway. What normally would be the start-finish line here for the Formula 1 cars. Of course, they don't run the oval, but they should. And there is the first chicane. And here we go, right past it. Not doing that. Now we slow down for Curva Grande. Wow, 182 miles an hour. That is the fastest I've seen anybody take that entry thus far. Hill was quickest in practice. Actually, you know what? Javier Mascara beat him. By about 1/10 of a second right at the end of it. So Hill second quickest in practice. Made his way through the actual chicane there and now is in turn number 6, headed to turn number 7, Curve de Lesmo. Pretty smooth operation there, heading into the Ascari section of the track after we head down this long straightaway. 182 miles an hour when he got on the brakes there. Through Ascari, headed down another long straightaway into Curva Parabolica, which will be the final turn before we head back to the start-finish line, which is on this side of the wall. Pit entry is on the right side of the wall. The trick is that you go down this straightaway twice, but it's separated by this giant green wall, basically, that runs right up the middle of it. So you head down at once on the right side, take a lap on the oval, come out on the other side, and that is a full lap around Monza Combined without the first chicane, 6.21 miles, and he did it in 2 minutes, 19 seconds, .947. All right, Matt. There's a big lap. There's a fast lap, faster laps to come here as Hill, Mascara, and Short, your top three. The Booth Boys are here in virtual Italia. Tommy Cook, Matt Williamson. Man, this is one that we have been looking forward to all season. It is just going to be a nonsensical amount of fun tonight.
Yeah, I mean, this is one we've definitely been looking forward to. We've had it circled. We were very excited to put it on the calendar for this season, and it is a tough challenge for the drivers. We've been talking about the oval a lot here, and especially that first turn, but the first turn is very fast, so I actually think the real problems are going to come on the S's after the speed has to slow down immensely and in a big hurry. I think that's where we're going to find most of our problems tonight.
It's going to be hard to judge where to slow down when you're in traffic for that first real turn, Curva Grande. And a couple of drivers have gone in a little bit slower just to make sure that they're going to get through. There's always a chance you're going to get piled into when you do that. There's also the chance that you are not going to realize how cold your tires are going to be heading into turn one on lap one, or road course turn one on lap one. And you're just going to absolutely send it into the sand trap, and your race is essentially over at that point. So rife with danger, rife with speed, and rife with cars as well. It's our second most attended road course race of the season, only behind the Daytona road course. And this is 22 Daredevils, the true Daredevils. This is maybe the most daunting task that we've ever set in front of these drivers. And 22 drivers are up to the challenge here tonight. It's been fantastic to watch thus far.
Yeah, I mean, we've been watching them in practice. A lot of people really pushing the limits of the track and the limits of themselves with the track, I guess you would say as well. Yeah, we're in for something pretty special here, I think. I mean, what will be the telling tale? We will know right away within the first lap just how this race is going to unfold. Will everybody die in the first couple of corners after the oval? Or will everybody get to continue and take themselves out throughout the road course? I think we'll be able to tell pretty quickly.
Most everybody that has not completed the run already is out on track. 13 drivers have posted a time thus far. Javier Mascara, with his last lap, has just gone to the top of the board with a 2:19.503. 3/10 up on Christopher Hill. I mean, that is an absolutely blazing fast lap here. With about a minute and a half to go, Matt, should point out our usual pre-race graphics and all that stuff. Absent this week. I've still got some problems going on at my house. I have not had the time or resources to really doll up the broadcast like we usually see. But I did leave you a handy-dandy little points graphic there. And what you're going to see is complete domination with 2 races to go.
Yeah, complete and utter here from James Watson. Finally got that win that he has been looking for all season, and it has catapulted him heads and shoulders above everybody else. You'll notice everybody else's name other than James is in red. That is because with only 2 races left and the max amount of points you can get is 1,000 for a win, everybody, and yes, everybody has already been beaten by James Watson for the championship. Doesn't matter what happens here tonight. Doesn't matter what happens next week either. James Watson will be your Daredevil Drivers Champion this season.
Yes, and we'll officially wait to celebrate him next week. We could do a little hip hip hooray here tonight. He's been pretty fast. For always claiming to not be a road course guy, he's been pretty sporty here tonight. He's provisionally P3 right now with just a couple of seconds left to go in qualifying. All right. Thank you, everybody, for coming out here tonight. And our race at Atlanta last week got quite a bit of viewership. I'm not sure from where. It certainly was an entertaining race, so I don't think we led anybody astray with the quality of the Daredevil series. But appreciate everybody coming back out here tonight, as it is that time to get moving in Monza. 18 laps is the distance here tonight, and with his second career Daredevil Series pole, Javier Mosquera leads the field to the green flag. Lining up to his outside will be Christopher Hill, a winner at Suzuka earlier this season. James Watson, last week's race winner, and the reigning Daredevil Series champion, starting on the inside of the second row. How about J.J. Wang starting to his outside at fourth? Matthew Short back with us tonight after his race ended early last week at Atlanta. He starts in fifth. Matt Schlosser in the sixth starting position. Nick Casidro and Seb Kinder then on row number 4. Martin Camano back with us tonight. He starts in ninth, and Kirk Lane will line up to his outside. Dan Miglin, Victor Aldrich on row number 6. Neil Lusher is back in the field here tonight. He starts in 13th with Matt Houston to his outside on row number 7. Austin Lafferty and Christopher Kretzky on row number 8. Ryan Dye, Peter Donchak starting in the 18th position. Christian Arribas, TJ Crampton, Paul Ellison, and Drew White. Field is gritting up, Matt. Strategy is going to be maybe not the thing most on people's minds here as we start to roll towards an imminent demise, but everybody's got to be thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean, you're certainly thinking about it, but you're right. I think everybody, number one on the brain is we got to make it through this first lap. I think if you can make it through the first lap, you're going to set yourself up to be in pretty good shape. I think that's the key for this race first and foremost. But after that, we're going to be looking at stretching the fuel just about as far as you can go and maybe not even be able to make it on one stop. It's 18 laps here tonight. The longest we saw anybody go in practice was Seb Kinder. He went 8 laps. So I guess we're looking at probably 8 to 9 laps, and it's right there at the halfway point. Not sure if they'll be able to make it or not. So could have multiple pit stops here tonight. Unlimited tires, 0 fast repairs. That'll be a big one probably tonight. No cautions unless we just have... just a bomb goes off in one of the oval turns on the on the first lap. No cautions unless that happens. There are incident limits here tonight. 18-point incident limit is a drive-through penalty. 25 is a disqualification.
Yes, that was a concern raised by the drivers here is what if all hell breaks loose in one of the first couple of trips through the oval? And yes, we do have an opportunity for a caution if that were the case, and it is certainly a strong possibility.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a long straightaway, and first of all, turning right on a big banked oval like that is not something that the drivers are used to. Second of all, the track is a little awkward on those turns, so it's it's definitely a possibility.
Rounding Parabolica, pace truck is about to hang a right. High speeds, high danger. That's the name of the game here. As for the very first time in series history, the Daredevils are on the move in Monza.
Pretty tame up to this point. Single file for now. Now we're going to start pulling out.
Already 200 miles an hour in the draft.
There goes Isidro looking for a move. Watson thought about it as well. Isidro's on the bottom here. Drifts up the track a bit. I can't believe it. I think everybody's made it through for now, but now we're headed to the road course portion of the course.
Don't count your chickens just yet. Here is Christopher Hill making a big move into the first real turn of the race. J.J. Wang a little bit wide behind. Peter Donchak off the track and around. Oh, problems. Miglin and Seb Kinder have gotten together. Kirk Lane as well.
Chaos there in that first chicane for sure.
Once we get back around here, we'll have to take a look at that.
I think Schlosser was the other car that I saw involved.
Yes, Schlosser definitely got a piece of it. Paul Ellison has made his way around, coming out of Delesmo. Through the Ascari section of the track now. Christopher Hill on the outside pole, leading the way, coming through the Parabolica.
What's really wild about this track is as long as you can stay somewhat close to your competitors through the road course, you don't have to be extremely fast. When we get back to the oval portion of the track, you can make up a lot of time with the draft. It is just, it's crazy. Oh, and here goes Camano looking to get around Isidro.
Yeah, what an opening lap for Martin Camano here. Up from 9th to 4th. I'm sure we've got some vamos going on in the chat right now. And he is doing exactly that. Here comes a challenge for the lead. Mascara on Hill, heading into turn number 2 on the oval.
Wasn't quite able to clear. He does now.
Wow. Bold moves. But Hill is going to have another opportunity to draft right back. They're already going 196 out of the turn. Hill might wait until the last possible second to dive it down underneath.
Further back, Watson, Short, and J.J. Wang are all together here as well.
Mascara fends off Hill. Camano in front of Isidro, and then it's a three-way dance here. Watson in front of Wang and Short. JJ a little bit upset there through the chicane. It's going to open the door for Short, maybe through Delesmo.
Mascara a little bit wide there. Out of the right-hander. Hill pulls right back up to him.
Breaking hard for Ascari. Tight racing for the lead. We've seen retirements now after that opening lap crash from Dan Miglin and Kirk Lane. They've both called it a night. Puts us down to 20 here as Mascara taking a lot wider trip through Parabolica there. And it didn't not work for him, but Hill is still going to be right here.
And we'll see if they can make a double pass just like they had previously. Hill was able to make the pass on this first long stretch of the oval. And then Mascara came right back and took it away.
Hill going for it.
Easily clears Mascara there.
But again, Javier will have another opportunity to get right back to him down this long left side of the front straightaway.
Kickpot game time here with Javier Mascara. On the back half of the big oval now, taking the toe off of Christopher Hill. About to take this right-hand sweeper that is so fast.
Mascara 186 on corner entry, 186 on corner exit.
He gets
and
the
all
binders on.
All the way down to 58 miles an hour for the chicane. And I think at least for me, two of my toughest corners is Delesmo here. Both of these right-handers, for whatever reason, just get my goat.
A little bit farther back, Christian Arribas just about ran over Ryan Dye here. Dye is trying to get around Lafferty for 14th as well.
Dye and Arribas have both made their way off the track a couple of times in the opening laps here. Matthew Short, I think, just registered an off track, is going to lose a little bit of time in his pursuit of Nicholas Isidro.
And I think Martin Camano is making up some time here on the top two.
He is catching Mascara, excuse me. So maybe in for a challenge. If he can sniff a draft off of Mascara obviously still in range of Christopher Hill.
Yeah,
what a drive. Sorry, go ahead.
No, Camano will be at a disadvantage here. It really doesn't have anybody to help with the draft. The top two will push each other as hard as they can.
And Drew White is registered for this race, but did not make the starting grid, but he's in the chat here. Lots of Vamos for him. I'm sure we got some Mascaro fans saying Vamos here, and he is going to at least take a peek to the inside of Christopher Hill. Nothing going just yet into Curva Grande. Oh, Peter Donchak off the track. I think it is going to be a tow for our main man. Oh, yeah, he wrecked big time in the oval. Oh, Martin Camano, I think, just went for a spin. Into... Oh, JJ Wang is around now. Into the chicane.
So JJ around...
Whoa! Christopher Kresge way off into the sand trap into Lesmo.
I think we're starting to get a little bit of wear on these tires here. And it's starting to show. Camano has Nicholas Isidro right on his tail now.
All it took was one little slip, and Camano went from being on the hunt to move himself back up into the mix, into now battling to hang on to a podium position.
Oh! Wow, the rear tires kicked out on Camano there through this last turn as well. He's struggling right now. Here goes Mascara, move to the inside on Christopher Hill. Isidro has now gotten around around Camano in the same fashion with the draft.
Battles
Camano
for first,
back.
battles for third. It's getting crazy here.
Isidro and Camano side by side. Camano has to roll out of it.
So how about Nicholas Isidro right now in P3? Had a tough middle portion of this season. Finally got a decent result last week at Atlanta to sort of curb the skid a little bit, and now back up on the podium right now as they run.
Hill took a peek to the outside. Drops back in line here.
Still have 18 of our 21 starters. Christopher Hill and Javier Mosquera have pulled away from the rest of the field. Hill trying to regain the top spot. As I think J.J. Wang just cut through a Ascari. And Christopher Hill right back, tucked up underneath this top wing here of Javier Mosquera.
Runs the top side, looking to get a big run here through this incredibly high banked oval turn. And decides he doesn't quite have the run. Interesting. They have passed each other right there in that part of the track every single lap. Not this time, though.
Imagine you're rolling out of at speed being 198 miles an hour.
Mosquera tucked
Go ahead.
in here with Isidro. He looks to the inside here, better positioning.
In the midst of their battling, they've fallen back about 6 seconds. Wow, that was close. Oh, Isidro needs room. He's going to take it. Wow, that was an incredibly daring move there. Now, how about Matthew Short pulling up onto this battle now as well? He and Camano were doing some battling at Daytona a few weeks ago. Now they'll get right back to it.
And he mentioned it, this group, about 6 seconds now from Isidro to Christopher Hill.
Oh, Isidro's
off the track!
Loses 2 spots. There's a chance he picked up some wing damage there, but certainly has lost 2 positions. So move Camano back up to 3rd. Not the way he wanted to do it, but he'll take it, I'm sure.
And Matt Short will move up to 4th, and he has been tracking here. A little bit farther back here, just inside the top 10, Schlosser and J.J. Wang are going at it.
And JJ's been off the track a couple of times. I think has the pace to be up in the top 5.
Leaders are in the oval part of the track now. Will Hill try and make a move?
The other thing Hill could be doing here is saving a little fuel.
I was wondering that as well.
Still going 201 miles an hour is the lead car, Javier Mosquera. But, I mean, Hill not looking for clean air. Staying tucked up right behind, not making moves. It's a possibility. If your gauge reads 9.1 and you need 9, there's no shame in saving a little fuel if you're going to be this fast.
Matt Short thinking about trying to make a move here as well. He rolls out of it. Schlosser and J.J. Wang coming down that front stretch now. Wang still with the advantage. Oh, and Short is on the outside of Camano here, and he makes the pass barely. Wow.
That is incredible to get it done on the outside into Delesmo. Excellent pass.
The big wiggle from the rear tires as well. The car didn't like it very much, but he made it work. And now here comes Camano fighting back.
Martin looking to send it a little bit wiggly there into the braking zone. Paul Ellison off the track, but brings it back on. He actually clipped the grass down the oval back straightaway. which is usually a death sentence, and he kept it going straight. So impressive work to save it. As I was just about to say, Nicholas Isidro was reeling in Short and Camano, but he went wide through Parabolica and lost all the time he had just made up. It's Camano going to look to the outside of Short into Oval 4. This is sketchy. Oh man! Right rear tire up against the guardrail.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if there was contact or not, but it was awfully, awfully close.
I mean, this guardrail is from like the 50s. There's no safety standard here on the oval. Here's Isidro with a huge run. Not sure if he's going to be able to get anywhere with it. But he's knocking on the door. Wow! Right to it, a block from Short.
Short will look to get a push from Isidro here. Now Isidro jumps to the outside.
Isidro swings it to the inside. Camano rolls out of it. Going to give Isidro the spot. Nicholas Isidro chomping at the bit to get back up onto the podium. Oh, and problems for Javier Mascara. He cuts through the chicane and gives the lead to Christopher Hill. So back to the lead for the 101. Oh, Short Camano! Oh! James Watson all off the track into Delesmo. Oh, Camano's still off into the gravel trap here. Man, oh man.
We'll have to try and take a look at that one for sure.
A lot happened there in the last 5 turns.
Oh, yeah, and wow. I'm going to back this up a little bit here. They took that big right-hander. They're going through the S's here. Yeah, and Camano dips a tire off, and so does James Watson. And then Camano with big, big problems. He's off into the sand trap again. So he's fallen back to 6th now. And Isidro is trying to make his way around Matt Short here on the oval.
Isidro boxing himself in here on the top side.
Wow.
Wow.
That top side gets really sketchy, too. We already saw it with Camano once.
Short gonna try and get back at it on the inside. A crash for Christopher Kresge, and now he has retired from the race. Isidro out of it. Man, inches away from eking into the grass. So after the issue for Javier Mascara, Christopher Hill leads by about 1.2 seconds, although Mascara is doing his best to cut into that gap.
If he can stay even here at less than a second, and he can make it onto the oval around that same spot, he should be able to pull in with the draft. He's losing a bit of time here, though. He's lost about 1/10 of a second.
James Watson and Matthew Short are pitting this time.
Everybody's pitting.
Yep,
Here comes Hill.
everybody should be pitting. I was going to say, not sure we can get 10, but we certainly got 9 out of it. Everybody should be good to the end from here. See if anybody decides to risk it for a biscuit. Not going to say the biscuit, but a biscuit.
Somebody locks it up.
Big time. A lot of smoke there. Might have been Seb Kinder. Everybody's on pit road here. Hill and Mascara going to be out cleanly. Going to be a little more of a challenge, I think, for everybody else. I think one driver has stayed out.
It's Neil Lusher.
Neil Lusher. Of course it's Neil Lusher. It's always Crusher Lusher. How about it?
So after pit stops, Hill 2.5 seconds out on Javier Mascara. So a much better pit stop here for the 101. Mascara will have to work hard on the road course to try to make some of that time up.
Hill had a crushing victory at Suzuka of something like 40 seconds. We are definitely not going to get to that tonight, but he wants to make sure he doesn't have to work for it here in the back half of this race.
Isidro and Short still battling. Isidro's finally able to get around the 35.
Wow!
Still left side's off into the grass. Now Short fights back on the bottom.
Unbelievable. These two are destined to go at it here forever.
Lafferty and Houston battling side by side through the oval here as well. This is for 13th.
Hey, Matt Houston, a podium finisher last week. It's been a few weeks since we've seen Austin Lafferty in the field. I don't think he's been with us since Daytona, if I'm not mistaken. So it's good to see him back tonight and challenging with Matt Houston here into Curva Grande. And he's going to hold on to the spot.
Oh, Short.
Into the runoff. And here's Isidro.
Oh, no!
Oh, man. Short in a precarious position. Was still trying to save that car. I don't think Isidro was expecting Short to be that out of shape. Man.
Well, we have field's a bit spread out here. We have one car in the pits. It's Neil Lusher. Let's take a look at a couple of replays. This is the initial start. We never looked at this incident. And it starts with Kirk Lane, and I think that is Dan Miglin.
Yes.
And then Miglin sliding on his side. He gets into Schlosser down here. Pushes Schlosser wide, or I guess to the inside here to cut the course. Well, that was that first incident, and then here's the incident with Matt Short. We'll back it up so you can see him get through this gravel trap here. And once you get that gravel on the tires, it takes a minute for it to get off. He's still super loose. And Isidro is able to get the power down pretty good, and he just gets right into the back of the 35.
Yeah, I don't really think there was a whole lot that Isidro could have done there. That was just an unfortunate circumstance for both of them to be in.
Mascara is cutting into the deficit.
Oh, Ryan Dye has gone around in Delesmo. I also like to point out, giving the 424 a once over here, does not look like a ton of damage on the front of that car, which isn't super realistic, but it is what it is. I'm sure Isidro is not complaining about it.
Camano and Watson battling here. Camano makes a pass on the other side of the pit wall, coming to the oval. But Watson will try to fight back here as they're both chasing Isidro on the 424 that you just mentioned. Watson able to take the spot back.
And James Watson over the radio asking Camano to work together. They can keep leapfrogging each other on the straightaways and on the oval turns and try and create their own energy. Oh, Christopher Hill! Hill has crashed from the lead! Hill into the barriers hard. Mascara back to the lead. Unbelievable.
And Mascaro is putting some time on Hill, so maybe Hill feeling the pressure.
Hill coming through Curva Grande at a blistering pace. Oh, man, just barely is going to get his left rear tire into the grass there and send it around.
Yeah, and he was pretty loose there through the entry in the middle of the corner as well, but you're right. He gets that left rear onto the grass, and it turns him down towards that wall. He actually stays out of it, which is...
Oh, it looked like he hit it to me. I think that's where I just came in.
He comes back across and then hits the other wall. And Mascara had to do pretty big evasive maneuver there as Hill came across the track after he hit the wall.
Matt Short in the chat says it was fun while it lasted, but I'm out. Yes. That sucks. I'm very sorry. You're running pretty good, though.
So Hill, obviously extensive damage here. Isidro has just absolutely blown by him.
Yeah, Christopher Hill right now topping out at 174 miles an hour. And this battle with Camano and Watson is rolling up onto him in a hurry.
Sketchy.
He moves down to the bottom of the track. Man, that is just crushing.
So with that, Watson and Camano are now fighting for that podium position. Oh, Camano pretty out of shape there.
Oh, Watson dips the tire off. They both do. Oh, Ryan Dye has gone around into Oval 4.
Oh, that is a bad place to be.
Christopher Hill. Oh, yes.
He is trying to get this thing turned around, but with the heavy banking, it's so difficult.
It's the Austin Powers meme. Dye had a legendary spill in practice. It'll end up on a highlight reel somewhere. Also, Christopher Hill on the struggle bus has gone off the track again and just did it there again as well. Seb Kinder has gone past. Now will be under fire from J.J. Wang as well. Man.
Oh! Who just... Hill just sent her
Hill
off into the corner.
Yeah, I think he's just going to call it a night.
Will be done.
Cannot say I blame him. That sucks. Well, I think we are down to 14. A couple of drivers drawing close to the incident penalty mark here, as Comano and Watson battling side by side for third.
Comano lost a lot of RPMs there on the bottom. Now getting back to it. Sean K, I think, was speaking about Ryan Dye's paint scheme. Yes, I agree. It's horrifying.
Ha!
Too many faces of a man that nobody wants to see.
I want to see you. You're welcome.
No, you like talking to me without having to see my face. Oh!
Whoa, Watson wide!
Watson cuts the course. They'll have to give some time back here. Comano into third now.
And the furled black is clear now for Watson, but he has lost the third position.
Stickers McQueen back in the chat here tonight as well.
Who are we cheering on tonight?
What's up?
I'll tell you,
dog. What's up with you?
I'll tell you what's up front. It's Javier Mascara by over 12 seconds. Nicholas Isidro in second. James Watson right now trailing Martin Comano. So Comano. Oh, Watson! Oh, I thought he was going around. He had that thing all out of sorts.
Well, he doesn't go around, but he has now lost touch with Comano, so won't be able to sniff this draft here on the oval, unfortunately.
Drivers having a pretty good battle behind them. Seb Kinder, J.J. Wang, and Matt Schlosser. That is for a spot in the top 5.
See if JJ can pull up to Seb here as they come out of oval 1 and 2 backwards. And he does. Looks like he's going to try to pull the inside move on him here. And completes it. J.J. Wang up to the top 5.
Great move for J.J. And it should be of some interest, haven't mentioned it yet today, to the fans of the Daredevil series that J.J. Wang should be appearing a little more frequently on Sunday afternoons in the Mission R Challenge. We are doing the top split strength of field official broadcast for the Porsche Mission R, the first all-electric vehicle on iRacing, an incredibly unique vehicle, and one that is a lot of fun to drive and a lot of fun to watch. And it'll be here on Sunday afternoons on Turn 200, starting in just a couple of weeks.
Now, looking forward to that. Learning a new car that I really don't know much about. Getting to know the ins and outs of the first all-electric vehicle here on the sim. As Kinder goes wide here through that final corner. Now Schlosser right up to the back of him.
Speaking of cross promotions, Wednesday nights will be the home for Matt Schlosser going forward as well. In just, 2 more weeks after tonight, We'll have the season finale next week for the Daredevil series, and then the All-Star race, which is, I guess, the actual season finale. And then it is the ASRL Sports Car Championship, which Matt Schlosser will be a part of. They are having a recruitment race right now, which is why the Rutherfords are not here. I'm assuming Rick Thompson is there as well. The fun doesn't stop here on turn 200, not for 1 second.
No, we used to have big, long periods in between series just once a week. And, boy, we got the slate full now, don't we?
Oh, yes, we do.
So don't miss a second of the action. Hit the subscribe button and hang out with us. Carlos is cheering on Martin Camano. Camano still sitting there in third.
And the good news for him is that they are forming a freight train behind him, and they are getting ready to duke it out. Watson, Wang, Kinder, and Schlosser all right here together, 4th through 7th. As Javier Mascara coming to take 2 laps to go, I do believe. Just 12 more miles. Just 12.
This battle for 4th is about to get pretty interesting here. 4 drivers all together.
Schlosser out wide, out of Ascari.
So it's Watson and J.J. Wang together here, and then Seb Kinder and Matt Schlosser behind them. Kinder and Schlosser hoping to work together to suck up to J.J. Wang here. And they may be able to do it as Wang and... Oh, no, we're all battling here. 2 by 2.
Wang clears Watson. So JJ to 4th. And Kinder, I think, slots ahead of Schlosser for now. But Watson right back on the attack.
Watson looking to mount the comeback here.
This could get hairy into Curva Grande.
Oh.
Wang hangs on.
From the outside lane, that is such a sketchy move. And now Schlosser looks to the inside of Kinder.
Sends it deep. What a move. So that is to move up to the 6th position. I think it's worth pointing out Nicholas Isidro in 2nd has had, now he's through the gravel trap. Oh boy, that was a jinx. I was going to say he is having lap times faster than Javier Mascara. The only problem is he's 11 seconds behind, but now, forget all that.
Yeah, forget all that. He's going to have to deal with Martin Camano here if he's not careful.
White flag at the line for Mascara. Coming off of his 2nd pole of the season, he's got about 6 miles to go to put a first career victory in the bag tonight.
Now Schlosser looking to get past Watson. And clears here coming into this first oval turn.
Wow. What a drive for Schlosser to move into the top 5, but his challenge is not over yet. Watson still right here.
Watson stays committed to the back bumper. or the back wing, I guess. Trying to push those two up to J.J. Wang. And now he will look for the move to the inside.
Seb Kinder right here. Oh boy, wheel to
Schlosser
wheel.
not rolling out of it.
The big slowdown. Oh, he's locked up. Oh, he locks up just enough. Aggressive for Schlosser.
And that's a second lap in a row. He has sent it around the outside of that right-hand sweeper.
Your best offense sometimes is good defense. Camano closing on Isidro, but not going to be enough time without a mistake from the 424. And while they sort it out here, heading to Parabolica for the final time, Javier Mosquera in his 4th career start with the Daredevil Series is going to end up in P1. Round number 11 of the 3rd season goes to Javier Mosquera at Monza. Speed wiggles behind him. Isidro will finish runner-up. Another trip to the podium for the 424. And how about Martin Camano? Will finish in the 3rd position. J.J. Wang comes out ahead of the Hornets' nest as James Watson drops all the way back to 7th there on the final lap.
Yeah, Watson definitely had a problem. He finishes well behind that group he was racing.
But James Watson, not that it wasn't official before tonight, but I think with the no-show from Hunter Engrave and a poor showing, or a poor result rather, from Christopher Hill after crashing from the lead, James Watson, the champion driver of this season. So I don't think he's going to hang his head about a P7. Mosquera's back to the other side of the front straightaway. Is he going to take a full lap around Monza? Is he going to celebrate somewhere in the middle here?
Maybe looking to take the full lap. Doesn't stop at the front stretch here.
I thought maybe he was going to take the chicane, which has been coned off for everybody's safety and convenience.
Taking a nice, easy victory lap here.
Well, I am going to try and sneak the full finishing rundown in before we whip some burnouts here. I do think Neil Lusher... Nope, he's already crossed the line. So I think everybody has finished the race. I think, anyway. We'll go ahead and take a look at it. Javier Mosquera, Nicholas Isidro, Martin Camano. Hoping to hear from these gentlemen momentarily. J.J. Wang in 4th. Matt Schlosser in 5th. That is career best finishes for them. Seb Kinder in 6th. James Watson, the champion driver, in 7th. T.J. Crampton. Then we'll finish in the 8th position. Neil Lusher, a top 10 for him, 9th place. And Victor Aldrich down in 10th. Matt Houston in 11th. Austin Lafferty, 12th. Paul Elson in 13th. Ryan Dye going to finish this race 2 laps down in 14th. Then DNFs for Christopher Hill, Matthew Short, Christopher Kresge, Christian Arribas, Peter Donchak, Kirk Lane, and Dan Miglin, all the way through the 21st position.
Victory lap is complete for Javier Mosquera as he pulls into the pits after taking the win here at Monza Combined.
He stops exactly where the number 1 board would be here at pit lane entry at Monza. So he knew exactly where he was going. So we wait for some drivers to go into the waiting room for an interview. I'm not sure about the status of Martin Camano or Javier Mosquera. With the big international field here, we don't always get drivers who speak fluent English So sometimes they'll send us messages. Sometimes they'll pull in translators as well. Not sure. We've never had either of them in the booth before. So we hope to hear from either of them. But we will go ahead and pull in our second place driver here in the meantime. Nicholas Isidro is back on the podium here tonight. A fantastic drive for you. And was that race more fun or nerve-wracking or somewhere in the middle?
It's pretty fun. Monza's a fun track when you have basically no downforce, which is what the set we had for the most part.
Now you and Matt Short were having a pretty good battle there. It looks like he got a little bit loose in front of you, and you didn't really have any time to react. Is that a fair assessment of what happened there?
Yeah, I went as far over to the side as I could, but there's the barrier there, and he just got a little too squirrely in front of me. I didn't have much time to slow down.
But not to put a damper on your night, because you had pretty good pace. Were you expecting to find your way onto the podium tonight?
I didn't get much chance for practice, so I didn't expect the podium, but it's always nice to end up on the podium.
Matt, you got anything for a P2 finisher here?
Yeah, congrats on the P2. I mean, just kind of strong and steady tonight is what got you onto that second spot. Was that just kind of the game plan to make it through that first lap and then just kind of keep it steady, keep it on the track, and you'll make your way to the front?
Yeah, it's always just a good idea to be patient at the start of any race, especially sort of a chaotic track like this one is.
Well, P2 here tonight, especially the awful luck you've had here of late. A podium's got to feel especially good here tonight, and a hard-earned one at that. Anybody you want to shout out or thank here tonight?
No one off the top of my head right now.
Well, partner, I tell you what, you're carrying some momentum into Auto Club next week. How are we feeling about finishing the season back on top next week?
It's gonna be another super speedway type race. I've done fairly well on those this season, so hopefully it goes well for me.
Well, best of luck to you next week. Congrats on the P2 here tonight, partner.
All right, thanks.
And I do believe we have our race winner in the chat. Javier Mascara is now in a booth 200, and he is here as a race winner. Welcome up to the booth, partner. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you. It was very interesting, this race, and I'm very happy to win this.
You and Christopher were having a great battle for the lead. Did you think you had a chance to get back up to him before he had his accident?
I think so. I was gaining back a few tenths before he crashed, so I think it could have been a nice battle, but in the end, we'll never know.
Can you explain trying to go battle as hard as you were with somebody like Christopher Hill at speeds of 200 miles an hour plus? It just had to be a crazy feeling.
Yeah, it was crazy, and I thought we will be a bigger group, but on lap 2 or 3, I think, the people behind were like 2 seconds or 4 behind, and I thought, okay, it's gonna be a 2-man battle for the win, and I'm going to take it easy till the end. But then I made a mistake watching my fuel consumption, and then it was okay, now to go flat out till the end.
Matt, what do we got for our race winner here?
Well, congratulations on the win. Like you said, we'll never get to know what the outcome of that battle was. It was shaping up to be something special, I think. But after he does go out and you take the lead, how does the mindset shift? I mean, are you just trying to keep the same rhythm that you had before, or do you kind of back off a little bit?
I back off a little bit. When Christopher died, I watched that the people behind were like 10 or 11 seconds behind, and I thought, okay, time to baby the car till the end and lose a couple of seconds, but take it home.
Well, what an outstanding drive for you here tonight. This was a tough challenge, so it's got to feel especially good to come out on top here tonight. Is there anybody you want to thank or say hi to here on the broadcast?
Yeah, I want to say thanks to this community for making this race possible, and to all people in my chat telling me to push, even if it was very without having to battle with anyone. They just telling me push, do the fastest lap, but I have to calm down and make it safe. So
it's always the people in the chat that are egging you on to do the worst things possible.
yeah.
Well, congratulations. Glad we could get you out here tonight, and glad we could get you in victory lane before the end of the season. You've had a couple of good runs going, and they didn't end up going your way. So it's fantastic to see you in victory lane here tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
All right. We've had this one circled for a while, and I'm going to say it did not disappoint. This is everything that I wanted it to be.
Yeah, this was this was fantastic. We had great battles throughout the field. I mean, a four-way battle for a position there, top 5 there at the end. I mean, couldn't really ask for anything more. I mean, it would have been crazy to see Mascara and Christopher Hill battle it out there at the end. Would have been absolutely bonkers, but Mascara is going to come away with the win here tonight. Just a great night of racing, and very happy that it went this well. I want to take a shout out to everybody in the chat here tonight. I saw a great little note here from Alex. He says, we're mispronouncing Javier's last name. It's a goat Scara because he's the goat. So enjoyed that one very much. Stickers was in the chat as well as Flinky Roberts there for just a moment. John K was hanging out with us here tonight. Carlos, Matt Short, who else is in here? Oh, Abel Martinez as well, Drew White, and Ryan Dye at State Line Sim Racing, and a couple people cheering on Martin Commando as well. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and can't wait to be back next week here for the Daredevil series. That is going to be something based on our history.
Absolutely. Finishing out the season, the points paying season anyway, under the lights at Auto Club. And of course, Javier Mascara tonight has just qualified himself in to the Daredevil All-Star race at Gateway the week after Auto Club. So 2 more races here for the Daredevil series in Season 3. One of them points paying. We will officially coronate James Watson as the Season 3 Drivers' Champion after 60 laps next week at Auto Club. Between now and then, tomorrow night, it is Daytona, the Oval, for Maximum Velocity Racing Series. And then on Monday, Truck 200 is back at Daytona, but it's the road course. Tuesday night for the Venom Truck Series, they are at Talladega.
Oh, boy.
So Talladega next Tuesday night, and then, of course, the Daredevil series. I mean, that's essentially 4 super speedways in a row here. That's on the channel. That is because Auto Club for these guys is a 200-mile-an-hour super speedway. So, wow, what a upcoming stretch of races here on Turn 200.
Yeah, I mean, we just had a race at the Daytona Oval for Truck 200, and now we're gonna have basically super speedway races all weekend or all week long coming up here for the next week. It's we're getting it out of the way here for a lot of the series, but should be good viewership and should be good action.
So we got I think we just got Martin Commando in the chat saying awesome race. Congrats to Javier. And congratulations to you on your podium as well. And hope to see you back either next week or the week after in our final 2 races of the season here for the Daredevil series. But again, a full slate of great racing action the next 4 nights here on Turn 200. Best way to make sure you are back here and on time for all of it is to hit subscribe on the channel on your way out of the stream here tonight, and hit like on the stream as well. Every little bit helps us spread the message of the Daredevil series far and wide across the YouTube and iRacing platforms. But until we meet again, that's all we got for you here tonight. For the GOAT, Matt Williamson, I'm Tommy Cook. We are saying so long from virtual Monza Combined without the first chicane, where Javier Mascara, GOAT Scara, ends up on top here tonight.